7. At the end of the month, Burglar Bill of the Silver District was the nurse girl's standby for frightening children. 5 burglaries were attributed to him, but though Dalrymple had only committed 3, he considered that majority had it, and appropriated the title to himself. He had once been seen, a large, bloated creature with the meanest face you ever laid eyes on, Miss Henry Coleman, awakening at 2 o'clock at the beam of an electric torch flashed in her eye, could not have expected to recognize Brian Dalrymple, at whom she had waved flags last Fourth of July, and whom she described as not at all the daredevil type. Do you think? When Dalrymple kept his imagination at white heat, he managed to glorify his own attitude, his emancipation from petty scruples and remorses. But let him once allow his thoughts to rove unarmored, great unexpected horrors and depressions would overtake him. Then, for reassurance, he had to go back to think out the whole thing over again. He found that it was on the whole better to give up considering himself as a rebel. It was more consoling to think of everyone else as a fool. His attitude towards Mr. Macy underwent a change. He no longer felt a dim animosity and inferiority in his presence. As his 4th month in the store ended, he found himself regarding his employer in a manner that was almost fraternal. He had a vague but very assured conviction that Mr. Macy's innermost soul would have abetted and approved. He no longer worried about his future. He had the intention of accumulating several $1,000s and then clearing out, going east, back to France, down to South America. Half a dozen times in the last 2 months he had been about to stop work, but fearing of attracting attention to his being in funds prevented him. So he worked on, no longer in a listless, but with a contemptuous amusement.